It all started in a job that I got into 5 years ago. I had nothing. I came back to Johannesburg, South Africa. I didn't have 1 cent. I needed a job. And I hammered on this medical job, this door of this company. And I kind of bid and I pleaded and I said, please, I need a job. And they got me for a very small price. But there's one thing that they knew when I walked in the door, that I was a hunter. Not as in a hunter hurting, killing animals, a hunter in sales. And so they said to me, we're going to give you one thing, one promise. We're going to give you a job for 3 months. If you can save our one branch, you've got a job and you save a branch. If you don't save that branch in a part of South Africa, you're done, they done, take your stuff and thank you, goodbye. So I had no choice. I had to make it work. And the whole draft was, Lucinda Harman, there's one thing we know about you. You know how to shake the trees. So what you're going to do is you go out in the field and you shake that tree. And all the fruits that fall on the ground, pick them up and run home with them. Then you go back a second time and a third time, and you climb higher and higher, and you shake that tree until that tree is empty, leaving no stone unturned. We expect nothing less than spectacular results. And that entire title of Go Shake the Trees, my book that I wrote, came from that job. And how I was able to turn this entire company around. Because it's something that actually is my genius. It's an ability. But it's only in this company did I realize that I had the ability to shake the trees. So now that you got the picture of it, so shake the trees, the idiom, and actually it's all about taking action and making things happen. And that is what we're talking about today. So we start off with the most important part of the speech, which is all about growth. You see, there's a quote by John Maxwell, change is inevitable, growth is optional. And I'm going to say, no. Change is inevitable, growth is a priority. It is a priority in your life. If you are not growing, you are dying or you're stagnating. We are born to grow. It's part of our biology. And so this became such a big thing for me in this time period until where we are today, is I'm absolutely fueled every day by growth. And what I want to say, whether it's Nick, whether it's your story we are right now, challenging hard times create strong people. I wouldn't be who I am today with you here if I hadn't been through very hard, challenging times. And so you learn that pain, the challenges, become the fuel for you to achieve. And if we look at the whole matter of growth, we grow from the minute we're born, the first breath we have. And then we start growing in size and weight. And we go to school and we learn and we develop. And then we get into high school and college. And then some of you might have got married. And then you had children, you watched them grow. And so our whole life has been one big growth trajectory as we go through life. It's nothing new. But there's a point in your life, perhaps, where you stop growing. And I want you to think, reflect. When did you stop growing? When did you think, you know what, I'm comfortable now. I've got enough. I've done enough. There's not much more to life. I'm just going to mellow out and wait until my final days. And a lot of people are in that zone. They feel stuck. They feel frustrated. They feel that there's this potential trap within themselves. And they kind of just don't know what to do. And I want to tell you today that there's a way to get back into growth. Because life is exciting. If you believe you're a student for life and that every day is an opportunity, then you're going to go, hell yes, I'm in the game. Say yes in the chat box. Yes, I'm in here to grow. I want to be better than yesterday. I want to learn something new. I want to study something new. I want to be a better parent. I want to be a better friend, whatever it might be. But there's always more to life. Because if you're breathing in the room with me right now, you have a reason to be here. It's not just to go like this and to hit a gray flatliner. It's not what life's all about. And I want to give you 4 points today on growth to help you, to kickstart you. If you're feeling like you're not kind of there, because it really is a priority, is number one, that you commit to yourself. I want you to commit yourself in paper right now or in the chat box. I want you to say, I, Roger Cook, commit to myself to be fully 100% committed to growth, my growth. I want whoever you are right now, commit to growth and say yes. Whatever comes your way, and there are so many opportunities in life, and we'll go through exercise of how you get there, but I want you to really start looking for opportunity to grow. Is it another course? Is it taking another role? Is it taking up another hobby? Is it reading a new book? What is it in your life that you need to be doing right now? Because just getting into that is your way to start that trajectory back into growth. The second important part in this entire picture is that you choose those scary, uncomfortable areas of your life. Yes, you choose the scary, uncomfortable areas to jump into and say yes to. You don't take the easy things because you want to be expanded. And if you expand it, you're going to grow. Growing pains, right? We don't like to change really, and we don't really like to grow because it's uncomfortable. Because we like comfortable, don't we? If we could all pick a comfortable, lovely day, we all would, wouldn't we? But it's the pain and that uncomfortableness that actually is what makes us grow and expand. And that's how we get to an area of thriving that I always say, I dare you to thrive. That is where we are aiming for. The third part that's really important is a desire inside of yourself, a will. We have this burning feeling that you actually really want to get out there and make it happen. You see, the regret of not doing it is worse than the fear of loss and failure. This desire is something, it's a potential, it's a dream, it's a goal. Because I can promise you one thing, I've watched too many people in my life die with regrets. And it probably is the worst thing to watch. It's so bad that it is my real why I do what I do. I'm here with my main why, is I don't want people dying with regrets. And as many people as I can get to and explain and share this with, that is why I do it, because of the desire in my heart, because I know what it feels like for people that haven't lived their life full out. They've got trapped areas of potential that they never got to express. The fourth part is the why, your why. You see, if you've got a why that is so strong, you've got the desire, you've got the commitment yourself, you've got your second part, which is choosing the scary, you've got the desire, and then you've got a strong why. When you knuckle down to knowing exactly what's your calling in life and your purpose, and your reason for being here, you're going to get out of bed in the morning going, yep, yes, I'm here, I'm ready to go. And your why has to be that strong. You've got to, without any doubt in your mind, know what that outcome is, that goal that you're aiming for. And that's how you grow. Because if I know that I need to achieve something, but I don't have all the skills, no matter what, if that why is strong enough, I'm going to make sure that I use my time and I study and I invest in myself and I do the work necessary in order to get to my goal. But I have to have a why. Because if I don't have a why, I'm going to be a little bit iffy. I'm not going to be fully, totally in it. I'm going to be like a foot in the water, toe in the water. Oops, a little cold. No, thank you. But if I have got this drilling part coming from in my heart, I'm fully in it. The other part that I want to go into on the second part is I want to look at action. Action is a very important part, is about shaking the trees. It's not just the growth, it's the action too. And Pablo Picasso, the man himself, he said, action is the foundational key to all success. Action is the foundational key to all success. Brilliant words. You see, if I take action, if I go yes to every opportunity, say yes like Richard Branson, and then you work out how to do it. But I've got to be taking action. If I'm not taking action, I'm nowhere. And the other part of the area that I want to cover is really about 80% of success is in showing up, Woody Allen. 80% of success is in showing up. And guess what that 20% is? Any ideas in the chat box? Any ideas? What is that 20%? 80% of success is in showing up. I kind of have given it to you already. I've given it away. Hard work, yes. The 20% is all about taking action. You see, if I show up in the world, but I do nothing about it, right? I'm here. It's great. I'm here. It's important. We need to show up. But if I'm not taking action in my life every single day, doing the steps towards what I want to go towards, I'm still not going to go anywhere. So I can be doing all the right things. I can be dressing up. I can be showing up, but I'm still not going to get there. So the 80% is all about showing up, and the 20% is all about
oh no.
Please note that she is videoing this, or she is from South Africa. She sometimes freezes, so if you give it a minute or two, hopefully she will be back on screen. During that time frame, if you guys would also go in and say what you're going to commit fully to. We've got something from Roger saying he's going to commit fully to fulfill his growth. Bryn indicated she's going to commit fully to myself for fulfilling growth. So if you could go down into chat and state what you're going to commit to this year, that would be fabulous. Hopefully she will be able to come back on in a minute or two. Okay, we have lost her. She is now coming back again.
As my grandmother always said to me in life, there is one very important thing when I was growing up. And she said to me, I want you to remember one thing, Lucinda. You need to get up, dress up, show up, and never, ever give up. Now, this is something I live by every single day of my life, every day. But there's something
Okay, we're going to have a momentary pause again. Thank you guys so much for your patience as we go through this. I am going to remove her as a spotlight until she can come back, and I'm going to focus on the get up, dress up, show up, never give up. What do you guys think of that phrase? Why don't you put it in chat what that means to you? Karen said she's going to commit to working on improving social justice and opportunities for all. Anyone have any thoughts about get up, dress up, show up, and never give up? Is there any 30-second thing that you could say when you got up? You never gave up. Please unmute, and you've got about 30 seconds while we wait for her to come back. Okay, we've got something from Bryn. I teach life skills and I have a workshop about showing up. It does include all of that. Thanks so much, Bryn. Karen, to me, the phrase means striving to increase our club's membership. Yes, that is something we all have. Got up to 35 days of sobriety. Congratulations. We do have our speaker. I'm going to spotlight her again.
Right. So the whole story with my grandmother is she showed me that even when she passed over at the age of 103, we dressed up in a beautiful suit, we put on her beads, and she showed up even when she passed over. And this is something I live by. It's something that's in my heart. But she told me I needed to find the other part. The showing up is only 80%. And I found it years ago. It was about taking action. So I live with my grandmother in my heart every day, but I remember that I need to be intentional. I need to be committed. I need to be focused on what I want to achieve. I can't live a life that I'm just waiting by chance for things to happen. I have to be full in. And this is a very important part to me. I learned I had to be fit, I had to be agile. Because you see, in life, we lose. We sometimes fail and we get rejected. It's part of life. It's sore, it hurts. But what I want to say to you is, it's a beautiful part of life because I want to tell you that should be fuel for you. Fuel in your life to take action. So when something doesn't work out for you, take it as a way to redirect your energy. Take it as a way to regroup and to take a step in your life in the right direction that you're meant to go in. And stop the distractions that are happening in your life. Don't be distracted. That's something that really came out a lot in my life as I lived, is I just didn't have the focus that I needed. And that is where I came unstuck time and again. And there are 4 steps I will leave you with when it comes to taking action. The first one is curiosity. You see, I see life as a gigantic Easter hunt every day. There's always something to learn. There's always somewhere to go. I network, expand yourself, go and meet new people. Broaden your sphere of influence. Go and join a new study group. Go to another club meeting. Get out there, talk to people in the shops. That's what I do my 21-day challenge that I offer everyone to do for 21 days. These are all the things that I put into that challenge, curiosity. It's like that little monkey that runs around, is busy and watching people all over the show. Curiosity is a beautiful thing. It opens you, it expands you, and it gets your awareness very broad, as you'll see that I'm going to show you as we go into our exercise section. The second thing is insatiable hunger. Insatiable hunger. You know, when you were so hungry, you haven't eaten, and you could eat like 7 meals, you're so hungry. I want you to feel that inside of yourself about life. I want you to be so hungry that no matter what happens, you've got to get up and take action for your life. Nothing will stop you, no excuse, no loss, no rejection, nothing will get in your way. Even that pain that you're feeling right now, it's an insatiable hunger that's going to drive you to achieve more in your life. The third thing is all about discipline. Discipline. Oh, I didn't like that word growing up. Not at all. I only learned that word at the age of 50. And it was a mentor of mine who said to me, Lucinda, you're never going to be an international speaker the way you are. You think you can pitch up and talk to an audience in jeans and slip-slop sandals and a t-shirt? Are you crazy? You first got to own your time in the stage before you can do silly things like that. You know, the big names in the industry, they can do it, but I can't. So it became discipline. Really about disciplining myself, finding structure, finding commitment, disciplining my speeches, disciplining my life. about really putting in routines and changing bad habits into good practices, that it came down to being disciplined in everything I do in my life. And that fourth part that is so important is consistency. It's all about being visible and absolutely making sure that your practice is absolutely perfect. So you cannot go to a gym today and be a top athlete tomorrow. You have to put in the time and you've got to be consistent. If I go to gym today and I go to gym for 3 weeks, then I go to gym in 7 weeks, I'm not going to get anywhere. But if I'm consistent in everything that I do, whether it's on the social media platforms, if it's in my business, if it's about writing blogs, whatever I'm doing in my life, whatever your career is, if you are consistent and your efforts, you're going to reap reward. But it starts with being absolutely consistent with everything that you do. And I always say 10,000 hour rule. Very important, remember that. It takes 10,000 hours to put into any craft of your life in order to enter the area called mastery. If you want to master something, you've got to put in the time. No matter what it is, you want to be a great chef, you've got to do it every day. You've got to be practicing it. Very, very important, remember that. So as we wrap up this component, this part of today, this entire part about go shake the trees, I want to take you through why growth is a priority. It is not an option. Because if you stop growing and you stop investing in yourself and you stop developing as a human being, you're going to go into apathy, frustration, the rut. And you actually are going to end up with regrets. So growth is definitely not an option. It is an absolute priority. And the other part really is about 80% of life is really in showing up. If you're not in the room, nothing's going to happen. If you're not in the arena of life, you're going to miss all the action. But the second part, that 20%, is about taking action. And it's intentional, focused, determined action towards your goals. You've got to know where you're going, and you've got to make a concerted effort to get there every single day of your life. If you want to get hold of me, the only way to say it is you can get hold of me. Here's the slide, and you've got all the details in order to get hold of me on either my website, my email. If you want to join the Dare to Thrive Challenge, we're going to be running it from the 1st of June. I'll be running it monthly from there. And then also the book, Go Shake the Trees. The book is there for the taking. That's it. And I want to say to you one thing. I dare you, number one, to shake the trees, and I dare you to thrive.